Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are in the world. I thought we could do a very quick daily bias coming into the weekend since we see a lot of talk. We obviously had the Clarity Act being passed late this week in the US, which gives a narrative for crypto on the bullish side. But as we always say, news is the excuse. So we need to see price confirming before we call bullish momentum. So I thought I'd just do a quick run through the chart, through the main four. You can see I've got them prepared here. And let's take a quick dive straight away into where Bitcoin is at. So on the macro, we talked about this setup yesterday. Let me just hide it here from the days. We don't need it there. Perfect. So what we do see is on the daily or on the high time frame here for Bitcoin, we obviously are still sitting somewhat in the middle of a range. This is the 50%, this is the 618, this is our high, and this is our low. So we're sitting into this reversal area. Most importantly, you can see we started forming this huge trend line, which we've been calling out for quite a few weeks now, weeks, and we very much broke it. So now the question is, where do we start reversing? Immediate targets for me is this sell to buy move sitting at around $70,000. So that will be my immediate target for BTC before I go in with a nice conviction long swing idea. You can see my little squiggles here. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But obviously not everything moves on a daily. We can have a look at what is happening on the hourly, especially for our scalper friends or people that tend to trade a little bit lower time frame. When you trade lower time frame, it's really important to understand your range. Of course, up until now, our range was what? Our range up until a few hours ago was this low and this high. This was the last structure. Range got invalidated. So now we can see our hourly range really starts from this 74,000, call it 75K low, all the way up to the recent high, which is 82,000 and change. So this is the range that we are currently playing off of. Obviously on the 4 hour, we were making high highs and higher lows, and now we have started making lower highs and lower lows. So sell ideas. This is something that I wanted to flag for people in our Discord. A few people are trigger happy and they want to go in with the long. This does not look like a good idea to me. Okay, if anything, I would like to short from a premium. So I am not liking long ideas at the moment purely because we have a macro environment on a daily which has just taken downside liquidity and is likely to continue lower. And we have a 4 hour environment which is now started to print lower lows and lower highs. Therefore, structure is telling us that shorts are favorite at the moment. They're more favorable towards the market conditions, right? So I would rather wait for a reaching on the premium area, which is, as you can see up here, before we can short. There is a nice 1 hour candle that I'm looking at up here. And as always, I'll give core and elite all the different levels, but you can see here 1 hour, and there's also a nice 15 minutes sniper entry candle all the way to the left right here. That would give us an entry too. Okay, so we can look at a short in BTC, entry 1 and entry 2. So double entry model. And this will be the setup right here. Okay, so if you are gonna attempt along, or if you are thinking that the continuation on the macro is going to be higher, basically saying, nah, this was it, Aussie. We have taken liquidity and now we continue higher. I suggest strongly to wait for a discount area in the zone. Okay, so our range, you can see them here. This is the discount zone. I particularly like this buy to sell move. I want to see the reaction from it. Obviously, we're looking for buys, so really we should be looking for sell to buys. But these nice clean areas that overlap with a Fibonacci level, sometimes they give some nice reaction too. So what I usually do, I just highlight them and I put a nice alert. All right, so keep an eye on this level. So when price does trade into it, I'll get alerted. So nothing for me at this very moment for BTC, but some nice clear levels already marked and identified here. Favoring shorts, and if you want to try to scalp along, wait for a better discount. Okay, so swing shorts better, more favorable, more probable, and scalp longs you gotta wait. Ethereum has, moving on from BTC, broke the range. You can see this was a 4-hour range, so now we have broke down, and therefore this range is no longer valid. We can simply remove it, and we'll clean up the chart a little bit. This was a nice long idea which went to full TP. We are now sitting similar to BTC, somewhat in the middle of an area. You can see long, so low to high, 50%, 618. So not my favorite area to do anything per se. I would rather wait for a lower, so therefore for a discount area to be hit before I look for longs. And on a daily, you can see we really are in the middle of nowhere. So there is no reason for me to do anything at the moment. We did take out major liquidity here in the form of equal lows, but that's not enough for me to give me any sort of confirmation that this is a reversal area. We might see a short reaction, very much possibly some sort of buy to sell move that takes us back into an area like this one. But once again, not too interested in middle of moves, as you guys and girls know. Solana on the macro as well is not doing anything at the moment, but it is retracing into a more discounted area compared to the ETH setup, which we just looked at, of course. You can see that the same candle that I was looking for BTC, so the buy to sell previously on April, has got traded and broke into. So for Sol, I wouldn't be against start looking for longs again here soon, somewhere around this area, which is obviously our kill zone. And I would also like to, if I can find it, 786, 886, beautiful. And I would also like to, ideally, not just enter blindly. We never enter blindly, ever. We wait for our draw on liquidity, which, as you can see, there is quite a bit here built in terms of internal liquidity from this range. Obviously, our trading range is this beautiful box right here. And we are sitting or entering now a very nice risk to reward area for a potential long. So Solana is looking like the ones that is going to hit some buying levels, if that's your bias, the soonest, as opposed to BTC. Okay. And XRP, yesterday we looked at the levels similar to Ethereum. It has broken the internal range, meaning that this low is higher than the recent low. So we have effectively done what we've done: lower low, higher high, lower low again. So now we can expect a lower high into lower low. So XRP could potentially give us some nice shorting opportunity here. If it comes back into this 1.47 area, and this is a nice 4-hour candle to play off and see if it gets retested, and potentially even playing off this 1-hour candle right here, which gives us a little bit of a shorter term short. Okay, so a couple of setups here available for XRP. So I would like to see price coming a little bit higher before we continue lower. And if you take a Fibonacci, like we always do, high to low, you can see this reacts. The first level falls into the 50%, which is a higher reaction zone, whereas our 1-hour candle, 4-hour candle goes all the way to the 76, which is obviously our favorite area to short from. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at for the weekend. For BTC, I don't like any buying ideas at the moment. There's just not risk reward. It's just not there. You do want to keep an eye out for this 4-hour reaction in this zone. And if you want to attempt to long, you would want to long somewhere into this discount zone down here. You would have to keep in mind that you are in a bearish macro environment, so you wouldn't want to go all the way and take your take profit all the way into high highs, because that's just not likely. I would rather wait for shorts. Ethereum, we're just sideline on the moment. Solana approaching a nice buying entry, and XRP approaching potentially a nice short entry. With that, I'll let you all have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your weekend, wherever you might be in the world. I know that some of you have long weekends because we have people from all around the world in AKA. And if that's the case, enjoy your long weekend. If that's not the case, enjoy your beautiful Sunday with your family. And as always, if you are watching this video and you don't know what AKA is, Aussie King Academy, that's where we come together and trade. The link is in the bio if you want to join and trade live with us. Lots and lots and lots of great result has been already applied. Have a fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you may be, and God bless. Bye.